Y'all ready to get started? Things I want you to think about, questions for these meetings. What makes the player unique? All right, we talk about this a bunch, but he's got to have something that makes him unique. What parts of his game can we develop? All players can get better. You know, what can we develop? Does he meet our character criteria, which is important? And let's don't misunderstand or misconstrue the difference between good football character and personality. And one thing I'm going to ask you a bunch is, does he want to be coached? Does this player want to be coached and get better? I think that's the one consistent thing when you just look at the guys we really hit on. They all want to be coached. They want to get better. They're driven to get better in some way. And they have an internal factor where you don't have to push them. Guys that have to be pushed to get better, they rarely ever hit their ceilings. They're going to always take the easy way out when it's said and done. I would tell you, and all the guys we've hit on, they have that trait. They all want to get better.
Okay, guard.
We need to keep producing in the draft. I mean, it's the lifeblood of what we do. Rock, what do we do with this guy?
He's a try-hard guy. He's long. He's got some traits. He's close with no cigar boy.
We needed to be together again. Jamie! But human interaction is important. I'm getting killed in here for you right now. I'm trying to keep this guy and watch him.
Yeah, you know, it's, I got two numbers for you, okay? 20, yeah. 20.
I can feel their bodies tense up when they really have a strong conviction on a player.
I've struggled with it. I get great. I've struggled with it. I get all the flags. I just was holding out hope because all we've been hearing over and over is explosive plays, speed. But I get it.
He's just fine-tuning right now.
He can move. He's nimble.
He will tackle. He just doesn't have a lot of punch behind his pads.
We take each step very seriously. We go through each step with a fine-tooth comb.
Just fine-tune it. We're going through it one more time with the scouts. Then we get into the horizontal stuff, the horizontal board, right? Like, hey, is it this tackle or this corner, this defensive lineman or this running back? You know, we always end up with 150 to 175 right in there. You know, you get kind of scared. Are we going to run out of names towards the end? But you don't. We always say, you got to be excited to take the guy.
Is this guy a blue card? Possible blue card?
What do you think?
First round pick. We always work under the premise that in the draft, we're never going to pass up a player, no matter what the position is, that we think is a difference maker. We just won't do that.
Huge hole! He's at the 30! He's gonna go!
I think case in point was Jonathan Taylor last year. We just saw a player with a unique skill set that we thought had a chance to be really special.
The Indianapolis Colts select
Jonathan.
So we took him, and you know, we'll continue to operate that way.
You're up again, Magoo.
Well, I'm talking about the West Coast. About time you got one, McGay, huh?
McGay, do you mind? We'll probably do this guy after lunch. We can't do it right now. Too early.
Ed kind of has a different relationship with each scout, and our relationship is like big brother, little brother.
If you just keep needling at him, you know, he gets real red. Is that all right, though? Seriously, can we do him after lunch? So I just like to give him a hard time. And I got to get at least 2 meals in me before I see a West Coast guy.
No, that's not all right.
The bias towards the West Coast?
Other than drafting 4 of them last year, I get you.
There's outliers. If we do that again, we may have to put him in Chris's office. We could put Chris on the West Coast, maybe. I don't know.
When it comes to giving it back to him in the draft room,
He'll give it right back to me.
it's hard for me to keep my mouth shut. It just happens, and I don't really think about it.
He doesn't care. I mess with him, he'll fire right back at me.
He is my boss.
Like, I don't want to be treated any differently because of my title.
There is deference that's given, but at the same time, I also have a competitive spirit and a short fuse, so I'm not afraid to clap back a little bit.
Ace Magoo.
What we got, Magoo?
This is the 4th Scout WrestleMania.
I'm Chad Henry. I'm the Midwest Area Scout. I will stake claim to being not only the most passionate, but the most knowledgeable wrestling fan in the NFL.
Chad, Chad's great. He's a huge wrestling fan. I mean, like obsessed.
I've never met a microphone I didn't like when it comes to wrestling.
All right, so we decided to do something a little different this year.
This year, just to make it interesting, I did a tag team tournament, because tag team wrestling's always been my favorite. Just neat to pair up alliances and create different characters.
It's a fun day when he starts putting that together.
The Bells, Beach, Badasses, and the Super Freaks all received buys.
We're always looking for bonding experiences and entertainment while we're in there. I mean, we're grinding out film, we're talking about players. I do think he has straight line speed. So we need some fun things to do to keep it loose. And I did this when I was coaching at my high school. I turned the entire team into a wrestling promotion. Anybody that touched football had a character.
Interesting match. 24-karat calves against the Dark Carnival, the returning bloodthirsty Mitch Manson, and Turpin, the hardcore clown.
I got this idea the first year Chris was here. I just put a couple pictures, like photoshopping guys' faces on the wrestler's body and making up their characters. Just did a couple matches the first year. Everybody thought it was pretty funny, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna try to do this again.
Winners of the match. Hey, when it's your own tournament, you book yourself to win.
If you're running a tournament, you have to make yourself look good as a participant in the tournament.
Next match, Team Tiger Blood, Juice Exotic.
It's good that Chris doesn't take himself seriously, so you can break his stones as much as anybody.
That's the one thing about the draft room. Titles go out the door.
I put his face on Joe Exotic and called him Juice Exotic because juice is his word.
Can't take yourself too seriously. I tell him, don't treat me any differently than you treat anybody else.
Next slide. TNT Foundation against the Bells Beach Badasses.
Nobody's really a wrestling fan back there other than me. There's only a couple other guys that sort of touch it. They liked it when they were younger. They grew up, I just haven't.
He takes a lot of ribbing.
The winners, to no surprise, Ed Dodd would accept nothing less.
The team that ended up winning it was two of our younger guys, Mike Lacey, our NFS guy, Anthony Kaufman, our Southwest scout. Put their faces on Crockett and Tubbs from Miami Vice. The bad part was those guys were both so young that they didn't even know who Miami Vice guys were.
The winners and champions are...
We got a great group. We all get along. We like being around each other because, I mean, those meetings are tough. You have difficult conversations. You have people with different opinions. You got to not take it personally. I mean, you're away from your family for a long time. You start to get grumpy. When you're in there for 2-3 weeks, you need some bonding experiences like that. And everybody's embraced it pretty good.
Everybody, let's congratulate the 2021 Scout WrestleMania Tag Team Tournament winners.
Anytime we make a decision, it impacts all of us.
Our players that you guys have put on this team are stinking top notch.
We want to grow our own players. We want to develop Colts. We want to draft them. We want to acquire young players and keep them here as long as we can.
Football character is off the charts on this team. We got such good, I mean, really talented players, but really guys who are dialed in, team first.
We just feel that acquiring our own and develop them into our program and into our culture long term is a better solution.
And I guess to me the question is, like, how will our room embrace this guy, you know? Like, how will they want to pull him in, or will they want to push him away?
I know we put a lot of stock in the football character. A lot of stuff is adding up just to be like, he's not a cult character guy.
When you start these meetings out, you said you wanted the question answered, like, will the guy take coaching? Does he want to get coached? That's my biggest hang up, is like, I don't know if he wants that.
I just want to make sure we're talking it through here. I mean, I think we know what he is.
We haven't taken many of them, but it just seems like the guys we've had to talk ourselves into, like this guy, because of the talent, we haven't done well.
Decisions don't need to be made till they need to be made. I guess at the end of the day, what we have to ask ourselves is he worth the risk in the second if all of a sudden he fell?
We talk about having to take a risk on a guy. I don't mind taking a risk. I'm sure, let's take a risk on a guy. But it's not like there's not great players who are great character.
We want to put the foundations up, the walls up, furniture's in, mirrors, carpet, and we're to where we can do some great things.
So we want to continue to bring in the right type of guys and not compromise. But then if the guy can be at the enough level, do our guys help him take another step?
Like the guys that were unsure, our locker room and player leadership can help elevate these guys' games. And there's a little bit of side of me, if I'm being honest, like, we got to be careful who we let in this building. We got something going right now that's pretty stinking good. Every year it just keeps getting better.
I'll tell you this, I'm taking this guy.
I'm ready to get out of that room. Let's finish this off so I can go do something else for a day.